Alright, what's up? So, I have been struggling with this truck. This is a 360 86. So it's a 1986 Dodge W250, and I've had so many issues with this 360. It's not funny. So, I got the thing and it ran like crap. I mean, it was horrible. Loading it on the trailer, it was running on probably one cylinder. And on YouTube, I don't see a lot of these 360s with GM HEI conversions on them. You can see like the Chrysler HEI conversion where they use the Chrysler distributor yet. But I've been struggling with this, and I got it home and it ran like crap, so I went ahead and started tinkering on it that day, and we found out that the original distributor, every single plug wire on that distributor except like two were in the wrong firing order. So we adjusted it and we put all the plug wires back in the right firing order, and it had the right firing order now. And after that, it ran better, but it still sucked. It would idle, but as soon as you drive it up, it'd pop and sputter and whatnot. So I put a new set of plugs in it, all 8 spark plugs, right? Brand new. This is only a couple months ago, and that helped, but it still had a really bad miss on the higher end. And then later on, it just slowly didn't want to run. Also, they were running this on this little 2-gallon jerry can here, and they put a flatbed on it, and the gas tank sits right there. Don't mind the rag or nothing. It's holding the vent right now, but they had a old radiator hose, just this one right here, sticking out through the bed, and I took it, and instead of running the truck off of the jerry can like they had it when I got it, I went ahead and cut a hole in the jerry can, screwed it to the bed, took the hose, and shoved it through the jerry can. So I'm going to be stopping at the gas station, and I'm going to be putting 20 gallons in my 2-gallon tank. I thought that was kind of funny, and it's kind of cool that this can was the same can that it ran with when I got the truck. That was one of the other issues, was it was just running on a jerry can. So I fixed that, and it was running on a electric fuel pump, which is this guy right here. It's that one sitting right down there. And I put in a new, I can't see it, but right about there my finger is. I put in a new fuel pump, and I struggled with that for a little while because I had a couple used ones laying around and they just didn't work. I'm trying to do this on a budget. Them didn't work. So then I went ahead and I put a brand new one in. I got fuel hooked up. I got fuel to the carb, and the fuel system was more reliable. And I was just thinking that maybe the electric pump was pushing too much pressure or something for the original Quadrajet. So I did that, and I had fuel for a while, and it was still just not running correct. And my other Dodge on the channel, you can go back and watch some other videos on it, but that truck's parked for the winter right now, and I gotta tear it all apart anyway. So what I did is I went ahead, I took the 600 Holly Brawler off, I took the GM style HEI distributor out, and my 1-wire alternator, because the charging system in this, when I first got it, also was junk. And I fixed the alternator, essentially rebuilt it, and put new brushes and whatnot in it, because one of the brushes were were corroded apart. So I put that in, the factory square back alternator, and went and plugged everything in. I had the voltage regulator up there and whatnot, and it was a newer voltage regulator, so I wasn't too worried about it. I go and I hook the battery up, go turn the key on, and all the wiring starts smoking. And I just didn't want to deal with that. So I went ahead and I bought a new stock replacement, not like a cheap voltage regulator, because the cheap voltage regulators that go over there, half the time they're junk from the box. But I went ahead and I got a new one, put that in there, still didn't work. Wiring still just started smoking, all the fusible links on that side. Which, if you don't know what the fusible links are, on the Dodges, I've done a lot of wiring already on this, but I haven't fucked with these yet. So, coming off of this connector here, you got, this one's cut, but you got 4, I don't know what you want. They're fusible links. I call them like little jelly links, because when they get hot and they've been used, they feel like jelly. But these links right here are specially made to burn up if you have a short or whatnot. And I'm going to be fixing that eventually, hopefully. Maybe I'll make a video out of it, we'll see. But all these right here were just smoking from here all the way around to the back side of the distributor. Smoked the distributor and the new brushes and everything I put in it. So I was just kind of lost, and I do all this shit myself, and I don't have too many people really to rely on. Obviously, you can go on the old YouTubes and find a lot of information out, and use your discretion whether or not you want to believe everything. But most of the time, it ain't too bad, and that's what I just did, and I couldn't find nothing on what was happening to mine really, other than replacing like a voltage regulator, and I just couldn't figure it out. So I like to simplify my engine bay, and if I can take 10 pounds of wiring out that I either don't need or that isn't being used, or I can reroute or whatnot, and get some wires out of this engine bay in a relatively correct manner, not hodgepodge. I can then take this engine bay and go from having a bundle of wires per se over here. Don't mind this one, but all them wires right there. I mean, that's a pretty thick harness right there. That wire way over there by the heater box, it's in the loom right now, that was about as thick as what's over here. And now there's only 3 wires going over there right now. And I mean, them 3 wires do something. They're for the heater blower, and that guy right there, or the wiper fluid little motor pump. And everything else that ran over there was for the old distributor, the old charging system, or a dead end for accessory or whatnot that wasn't added in a factory option. With that being said, I just wanted to simplify this thing. So 1, it's essentially easier to work on. 2, there's only so much that can go wrong after that, and it just simplifies everything, right? I'm rambling on a little bit, but just stay with me. So we'll start with the charging system. So you have the main black charge wire that basically eventually makes its way from the back of the alternator over to charge your battery. So I eliminated that. I eliminated all the field wires and the voltage regulator, And then for the ignition side of it, I eliminated everything. I eliminated all the coil wires. I eliminated the balance resistor. I eliminated the spark box, the ignition box, which looks like, if I can find it, here. So that's the old coil. That's the original carb. And then this guy here. That's what the spark box looks like, but just got them wires on it. Get rid of them and simplify everything. And the way I did it, it depends how in depth you want to do, but I bought when I built my other truck, I bought the HEI distributor. So it's a GM style. It's got the coil and everything in the cap, right, in the HEI block and everything. And then the distributor itself is made to mate up to a 360 and yet run the HEI for that cap and everything. So on them caps, all it is that you got to wire up is there's two wires, and one of them's optional, but the one wire is the tack, which is the green one sticking out right there. And then you see the red one back there with the little yellow end on it. That is battery positive. That's keyed 12 volts. I have it hooked into the 12 volt keyed blue over here, which would have ran a lot of the coil and whatnot. But to simplify everything, and just to make sure everything works, like that distributor right now is ran from 12 volts keyed, done. And I believe that blue is a fused blue. I'm pretty sure it's fused into the ignition. I'm not 100% sure. Right now I really didn't give a crap because I just wanted to get the thing running first, and then I'll verify that so I don't burn the truck down yet again. Because I definitely started to when all this stuff started smoking. I'll fix that wiring there with an actual fuse block. And then now I'm down to the fuel system and the distributor, or the alternator. And what we're doing for the alternator is pretty simple. This is a really long ground, but I like to ground the alternator. So you ground the alternator through the block back there. This is an actual, you can buy this alternator. It's already set with voltage regulator and everything inside of here, and it is when you look it up, it's a one wire alternator, square back. Basically, all you do is you just ground it, and then you get a big old wire, positive wire from the output side of your alternator, and then run it over to the positive of the battery. And I did this on my truck, on my other Dodge, and I've had no issues with it, other than my alternator whines, like it whistles like a little turbo. It has a little whistle to it every once in a while. Otherwise, it's the only issue I've had with it. But this is a 4-gauge wire. This is what I ran on the other truck. It's what I'm running on here. And essentially, this goes here to the battery and bypasses all that electrical. Because I don't know what was going on with that. I checked all the wiring. I've had all this opened up and I went through all of it. There ain't no bad wires that I can see other than the fusible links are kind of yellow. So I know that hooking up one wire alternator to this, simplify it, be done and over with. It's not factory, it's not numbers matching, but I really don't care. This is a plow truck. Same thing goes for the HEI distributor. Technically the HEI is a GM thing, but Don't care. Mopar guy, but I still don't care. I have a GM part or two on here. And then the carb, the old quadrajet that was on here, all the gaskets and everything, the accelerator, pump and stuff needed to be changed, and I had this one on my other truck that I got to tear apart anyways, and I have another carb for that I'm going to put on it. So with that being said, it was kind of dumb not to just throw this carb on versus keeping the other one on and throwing this on a shelf. But I just wanted to get on here because none of that really matters right now. I'm just rambling on what I've done on this because I haven't made a video on it. But I did all that, and I couldn't get the thing to run. I had it running, you know, when I first got it, and I first put the new plugs in it, and got the fuel system where it needed to be. But I just couldn't get the thing to run. I barely pop off. I had to push it in here because it just quit. It just quit running. It won't start. And I was checking fuel, and I had fuel, and I was checking timing, and it seemed like it was in time, and it just didn't make sense. So I went ahead and started doing all that. I put the alternator on, the carb on, the distributor on. I put a new timing chain in it, because that one was a little loose, and thinking that the cam had too much degrees of play in it, because I think they're factory, I'm pretty sure it's 1/8 of an inch play when you have a new timing chain on. Your timing chain is in spec as long as it's within 1/8 of an inch twist, I guess you want to call it, on your cam, correlating to your crank. But I just didn't understand with a new carb that I know works, with a new distributor I knew worked. You know, I put new plugs in it. It's got plug wires that are new with the distributor. And I double checked, triple checked, quadruple checked the timing. It's in time. I just couldn't get it to run at all, no matter what I did. I adjusted the distributor a bunch. Didn't think I had to, but I adjusted that. And I've been struggling with this for a long time. A couple weeks, I guess. And I think I finally got it figured out. That's why I'm making the video, because I either feel really dumb, or it's something that I mean, it's something I've never experienced, but it makes me feel dumb. But I checked spark on the other side, but pulled the spark plug wire off, put my spark tester on it, and I had great spark. I knew my coil was working. I knew I was getting spark to the coils. Never crossed my mind to maybe pull a plug out and see if the plug themselves were getting spark. I did that today, and I pulled a couple of the plugs out, and they either had really weak spark, no spark, or it was very intermittent weak spark. And I have some spare plugs hanging on the wall, so I went ahead and put all of them in, every single one of them. I just didn't understand. I never thought of that, because I was just like, it was running, and then I didn't have it. I didn't think I flooded it or fouled out any of the plugs or nothing. And when I pulled the plugs out, they weren't horrible. But I put all new plugs in it, not thinking it was going to work, because I've never seen it where new plugs would be bad right out of the box. I understand like one of them, but not all 8. Within a couple weeks of owning this truck, I had them in, and for whatever reason, all 8 of them plugs are bad. All 8, every single one of them, all at the same time. I put all 8 plugs in, brand new, and this thing popped off, and I gotta adjust the timing now a little bit. But this thing fired right off with a little bit of gas, and it revved up really nicely, other than a little bit of backfire from the timing. But I just wanted to get on here just to let you know that I've never seen it before, but make sure you check your plugs. because apparently all 8 of them can be bad at once. So I'm gonna tune this thing up a little bit and hopefully get it running yet tonight. Gotta put the valve cover back on, had the valve cover off to see if the valves were correct, and cylinder 1, all the valves were where they needed to be on top dead center, and they were. I just couldn't figure it out, and I need to get on here and just talk about it, because either someone else can get a kick out of me being dumb, or someone can learn from it, you know. But she should be running now, so that's all I'm worried about. I'm eventually gonna take the electric pump and try to run to my manual pump again. I put the electric one on there just for a sense of security that I knew I was getting proper fuel. But that'll be coming back off because I don't like electric pumps, especially in the engine bay like that. It should be by the tank. That one is a push, not a pull. But I'll give you a quick little walk around on it. So she's an 86. I have a 6.5 foot. I think it's a 6.5 foot Western plow for it. I didn't pay too much for it. I thought it was a good deal at first until I really started looking at it. It needs floors bad. The cab is pretty rough. I do have a spare cab that I can cut the floor out and put in it though, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just gonna be a lot of time and work. But this was I don't know what color. I'm half colorblind, but you can kind of see that. It's got kind of a pretty color on it, but it is originally, so it's a 2500 or 250 frame, axles, springs and whatnot, but it used to be a long bed actually, and that's why there's a gap right there. And if you come back here, part of the frame, you can see part of the frame is missing right up to these spring shackles. And what they did is they chopped off the back inches of the frame. There's this flat bed on here that I'm pretty sure they made for a short bed. And after they chopped the frame off, it still had a little bit of gap back here. That's, you know, longer wheelbase and whatnot, so. But they have a stack on it. You let me know if you agree with this, but me personally, I think most likely when you have a truck and it's gas, I personally don't agree with the whole stacks on them. I agree with putting a stack on like something that burns some diesel, but something that's just a little gas burner, I don't recommend putting a stack on it. I think it's kind of pointless and it looks kind of tacky. And then there's the old plow light, which does work. That's pretty sweet. It is a 5-speed or 4-speed, sorry. All that good stuff. It has 50 pounds of oil pressure when running, so I think it's probably got about I think it's rolled over twice, so it's got 236,000 on it. And the frame is immaculate. Otherwise, the bed is in pretty decent shape, but that's because it's, you know, someone built it and threw it on there. The cab needs a lot of work. The fender wells aren't bad. I mean, there's a little bit right there, but down on the bottoms they're pretty roached. I also don't know this, but this plow, I'm kind of thinking that this plow setup was put on there very early in this truck's life. because this grill and these bezels are in like immaculate condition for being a plow truck. And I think with having the plow on there, nothing really ever hit it. There's one little dent right there. Otherwise, other than that and the moss, this front end of this truck's actually really clean. So, just wanted to throw on there and make a little video rambling on about a little bit of everything on this truck and what I've learned, and see if anyone else thinks I'm dumb or agrees with me or it helped them out. So you let me know, and let me know if you want some more videos on this guy. I can definitely make some more videos on this truck. I'm thinking of a name for it too. I'm thinking of calling her like the Salt Ram, because she's gonna be the winter beater. But you let me know. Alright, we're gonna try starting it. I got the fuel system hooked back up to the original fuel pump. I got rid of the clicky clack. And we can just zoom in on that bad boy. Factory filter, factory style filter. Charging system's hooked up. Already tested, it is working. I got the bowls filled. And hopefully let it run long enough where it'll pick up from the tank with that stock pump. And you can hear it run a little bit. Maybe 2 cranks. Maybe. It runs really smooth, actually. Kind of impressive. Still got to hook up vacuum advance, but gonna let it do its thing, see if it runs out of gas or not. She sounds pretty good. I mean, it runs smooth. I bet I could balance a quarter on it. I can feel the pump trying to pump. And I do believe it's pumping. Really hard to tell though. You can look inside the sight glass. Trying to watch to see if it pumps out there, but I don't know, we'll have to see, but she smokes a little bit. Not horrible though. A little cherry bomb action. Check our oil pressure gauge. What do we got for oil pressure? Not the best. That's at idle though. It's idling kind of low. But it's not horrible. We got gas. We got front brake hoses. It's got front brakes, no rear brake yet. Got a little blow by out the breather. She runs way better than what she used to. Look at that butt. Oh yeah, look at that butt. She might have a little bit of blow by. Like just I don't know where, but maybe a little bit. Otherwise, that was pretty good. There ain't much coolant in it. It's charging though. She stops. Hell yeah. Temp's not really climbing. It went down. It's down from where it was at one point. I gotta put some thicker oil in it though, to that way I can rebuild it with some new oil. Wipers don't work, as you can tell. But everything else, the radio's stuck on AM. I don't know who listens to AM anymore, but not this guy. We're gonna do something about that. Let's shut her down. You know what? Let's drive her forward a little bit. Push the old clutch in, put her in first. Hit the brake. Brake works. Let her heat soak a little bit. Last time this thing ran with all of its glory under the hood. It's been a very long time. Previous owner didn't know nothing about it. Not trying to bash on them, but they just didn't know really how to make it run like she should. So otherwise, a little bit of blow by, and you gotta add some coolant to it, but seems pretty good. I gotta fix some leaf spring shackles, and then I got running lights and blinker brake lights, but I ain't got no reverse lights, which I'm gonna want for some plowing. And then right about there where the square thing goes for your legalization, that don't have a light either. But she's slowly coming together. It's gonna be the winter beater, and it's already winter weather. It's pretty chilly in here right now. But thanks for watching.